This is a day 9 of our February marathon challenge. Okay, so here we will be drafting the pattern for this corset top. Okay, this capped corset top. This is the tutorials on which you can achieve this. This is an in-depth tutorial for a complete beginner so that you will be able to do this for yourself. Okay, so these are the things you would need. You need your paper, you would need your bra cap. So let's just dive into it. So with this measurement, her shoulder to her underbars was 13. That is what is being marked there. After that, her shoulder to the waist was 17. That is what you see me marking there. Okay, so that is what would be your guide for us in order to achieve what we have to achieve. So when you're taking your measurements, kindly do watch our measurements, how to take our measurements. You know, it has already been uploaded. I think that was the day 3. Check that one out as well if you're having issues with how to take the measurements for this particular one. So this is how the top length will be that is being marked there. So you check out your shoulder to your underbust before you come to your shoulder to your waist, like so. So here the bust was 36. So you put it behind, divide it into 4, and then with your bra cup in it, with a cup being on it, you use that as a guide on where it would end. Okay, please kindly do take a very critical look at this. You first need your length of the top, you need your shoulder to your underbust, you need your shoulder to your waist, and then after that you add some allowances to it. It is plus 2 allowance. You add 2 inches allowance to it. So if it is 36, after you are done marking your 36, you add 2 inches allowance to it. But after that too, you put your back up there to mark where the bra cap would be fitting. Okay, so that is what you see me doing here. You just put it on and then you mark where your bra cap will be fitting. Okay, then we move on to our waist, which was 30. So you're looking around waist 30, that means you're getting 7.5. So after the 7.5, then we add our 2 inches to it. Okay, and then we'll move on to the hip, which was 40. So the hip 40, we would be adding our 2 inches to it. Okay, so we get that curve from the waist to the top of it. If you can use your free hand to do that drafting, it would be fine. But if you do also have your curves to do that, you can also do that as well. So here I was just marking our waist perfectly and then marking it out. I was just, highlighting where the waist will be and then working around that. So here in this section, I'm taking half of the measurements out of the measurements in order for it to get that snatch defect around the waist. Okay, that is why you see me taking half out of it like that. Okay, this, and then I'm creating another panel around the dart. So with the middle section, you check where your underbust is. From your underbust to the length of the top, it passes through the waist. Okay, after you are done with that, you do make sure that you just divide it from the midpoint. Okay, and from the waist as well. For the third slash, you just check the measurement, try and see where it would fit perfectly. I always do make mine either 4 inches or 3 inches, but here it was 4 inches from the waist to the other section for me to achieve that. Okay, you can decide to make it 3 and that would be fine. We're just trying to snatch the waist and also create the panels or the joinings in front of the corset where we will be attaching our boning. If you have any question, kindly do leave it in the comment section so that I can help you out. So here I was using the marker to reinforce the stitches, to reinforce the markings or the joints that had been done on the paper. So that is our shoulder to our underbust. We have the shoulder to the waist, we have the top length, and then this is our underbust length. So in order to snatch the waist, so with the bust section, there will be joining, okay? So that is what you see me marking that out as well. It was achieved by the cup you use. Check your bar cup size that you use, and then you use that particular size to do that cutting. If you make it too smaller, you're going to have an effect. If it is too wider, it is also going to have an effect. So make sure that you use your bar cup to measure your bust to see which bar cup fits you perfectly in order for you to achieve the results you are hoping for. So you first need your shoulder to your underbust, very important. You need your shoulder to your waist, very important as well. Okay. So with this particular measurement, my shoulder to my waist at the back is 16 inches, whilst my shoulder to my waist at the front is 17 inches. So in order to make my back align with my waist, with my front, the back measure pattern to align with my front, I would have to take in the 1 inch difference from my butts. Okay, I would have to take that difference from my butt section. That is what you see me marking it there. So since my shoulder to my waist at the back is 16 and then my shoulder to my waist at the front is 17, it would actually affect my top length for the back as well. That means that it would be way up by 1 inch. So that 1 inch difference has to leave the front pattern. And I'm having 17 for my front because of my bust existence. Because of the back existence, it is going to be affecting the back. The back has no bust there, so it is super flat. Okay, so most measurements, you notice that the front is longer than the back. So with that 1 inch, I take that measurement from my bust section. So that is what you see me doing there. And then when you're transferring it to your back, drafting your back, you use your armhole measurement to transfer that. But when you're getting to your back section, you either make it go down by 1 inch or by 3 inches, depending on how you want your in-depth to be, how you just want your down to look. Okay, so here I went down by 1 inch and then I drew it to align back with the front armhole. That is very, very much important. Okay, so after that, we will be working around. You come down. We are going to be cutting out some of the inches at the back so that we can add a modesty panel or a card at the back. Okay, so here you see me doing that measurement. We'll be adding another extra 1 inch to it because here I was already done with the modesty intake. But in order for you to understand it perfectly, that is why I added an extra 1 inch to it so that you can just know how to just take your modesty panel inches out of your back. Okay, so after you're done with that, that is your waist. That is actually a waist and a top length. So you come out by 1.5 and then you come in by half for the down. So you join in together like so. Okay, it has to be slanted as you can see here. So you go sideways by 4 inch, 1.5 inch, and then you go there by half inch. So you mark your measurement hip 40, you add your 2 inches allowance to it. So here you use your French curve to join it up as well. Okay, because of our bust, there is difference between our shoulder to our top length, and then for the backing situation, there's this 1 inch difference there. And in order for us to achieve that, we need to take 1 inch out of our bust length. Okay, that is what you see there. So here, that is our back. That is our back, and that is our front. So with our back, you find the midpoint of the back, and then you go sideways by 1 inch and another 1 inch. This is completely easy, and then you slant it down like so. You just make it look like a V. You repeat that same process at the top. You make it look like a V, upside down a V. Okay, so you have your effect like that. That is where our light eyelets will be. Okay, but if you were to add our zip allowance, you would have just kept that allowance we have there. Okay, that 1 inch allowance there, you would have just maintained it there, or you would have actually made yours two, depending on how many inches you would want to use for your allowance. But I would recommend that most use it either 2 or 1.5. So here you need to cut, I'm cutting in between so that I can have access to the intake I need at the bust section. Okay, so here I'll put it up. You realize that the moment I started to pull it up over it, it was giving this kind of concave effect there. Okay, yes, it does really do help, especially if the person is very, very much busty or bustier. You notice that, okay, the cave is super, super obvious. Okay, but this was 1 inch, so you could see the effect there as well. So here I'm using my masking tape to join it up before I straighten the lines there and start with the cutting. We will be using, this is the first person, this is the first episode for this pattern drafting. We will be having another video where we will be learning how to do, we'll be joining them together, the how it is actually sewn and how bones are do, how the boning will be added to it as well. And then we'll have another separate video for the skirt, how to cut the flare skirt, and it will be done consistently. Since this is a 30-day marathon challenge, this is a day 9, so we have the sewing at day 10 and then the skirt at day 11. So here, as you can see here, there has been some, inconsistency with our pattern. You realize that because of the cuts there, it affected the straightness of our pattern, and that is really not good. So you use your marker to reinforce your markings that has been drafted there, especially around the bust area. Okay, so we are ready to cut our pattern out. So after you're done with this, like so, you would be able to achieve any other pattern you want to cut out of it. If you want the down to be a concave, wavy, whatever, but do take a look at how we actually did cut what you saw at the intro. Okay, so here we are cutting it out. Kindly do take a look at where the places where I'm cutting out. So these places are not important. We don't need them. And that is also not important where you see me cutting. We do not need this. Okay. So here you cut in between the dots like so. But let's move on to the back and cut the things we do not need at the back. The excess should just go off like so. So here I'm cutting them out of it. If you've not subscribed, kindly do subscribe and like. And please do not forget to share with your friends and colleagues. So here we don't need the dart inside. So we are cutting off that dart from it. Okay. We are cutting our darts out of it. 2 inches dart is being taken out of it. This is how the back looks. Let's go to the front and then we'll be cutting this one out as well. We don't need that section there. Okay, but this here in this section, I think I did forget to write the numbers on it. So the center front will be the one, the other one will be the 2, and then the last one will be the 3. Where the hip shape is will be 3. Okay, and then arrows will also be drawn on to show which section is which section. So this is how the front will be looking. Okay, this is how the front do looks. You can actually do take. So here I will be writing it on it. I will be writing the numbers on it. I completely forgot to draft the patterns. So this is number 1. Okay, the center front is our number 1 on fold. This is our number 1. And then we have our number 2. So here, this is when I am joining them together in order for us to achieve the effect that has to be achieved at the base. Okay, you make sure that they are aligning in the best possible way. And then you just decide to give it all the curves and all the effects you would want to get. Okay, so this is what you see here. Yes, this is the effect that it has been drawn in. Whatever pattern you would want to draw at the base is on you. Okay, you just do make sure that it does align. If it doesn't align, danger. But if it does, we are okay. Yeah, so all it has to do is to make sure that the darting are aligning, the down are aligning, and then after that you cut it out. So this is what is being cut out. You realize that when I'm placing them on the fabric, they will be out. Yes, So we've cut this one out of it like so, and then that is the back. So this is how the front looks, and then this is how the back looks. So we have three for front and then two for the back. So after we are done sewing, this is how the whole project will be looking like. The whole other project, I mean the sewing is also has been uploaded for another day. Okay, there's a marathon. So the next day it has been uploaded. And how the hands was actually do, wait, that was also do. So just stay. So kindly do watch our next video for how this whole thing came into being. Do not forget to subscribe and like and share.